Respected youngsters, welcome you all. Congratulations for being so regular in the attendance of this most beautiful talks we are having on the basis of our glorious Sanatana Dharma Shastras given to us by the Rishi Muni Parampara and the Lord Himself. Give it up is the only suggestion. Till all doubts go, all knowledges come. We are perfect on the path towards the successes inner and outer, and further carry this torch of Shastra Jnana even to our around friends and other circles. Like every day, six things today also, the common sense thought, the Sankalpa, the Sahanavavatu mantra, Bhagavad Gita, Vedic chanting, Rigveda, Chaturtha Mandalam. Then we have our Bhagavad Gita, the Tamasik, Buddhi, we will clearly understand today. If time is there, this Satvika, Dhruti also will try to know, followed by which our in Tulsi Ramayana, Mandodari trying to advise her husband Ravana, but Ravana is Ravana. He will not listen good advices, invites the destruction of himself and everyone. While studying that Shastra, what things we have to learn and change in ourselves, bring changes in ourselves for our better life. This is the purpose of our everyday seated here. Now, in today's common sense thought, the first thing, five, six, seven things, remember in mind on the basis of Gita and other things we have learned. In general, all beings living, including human, left to themselves, will be pulled down to the dravya sthiti, the matter sthiti, the indolence, the laziness, technically called as tamoguna because that is easier. Dravyata kehte. And in the dravyata, how can there be purnata? In the dravyata, how can there be anandata? So in the matterness, in being slumberous, stuporous and lazy lethargy, how can one be in conscious bliss or happiness? Can't be. Therefore, we should learn to hate this tamoguna, dislike that tamoguna, percolating, permeating our buddhi, our mana, our indriyas, our sharira, all tamas, उसमें से बाहर आना है. And how do we come out of tamoguna? Only one way, that is by invoking the rajoguna. And we can invoke rajoguna only when there are some temptations. Never mind to begin with the temptations of some wealth called as artha, some enjoyments called as kamana. Let us work with all our faculties because work is the expression of rajoguna in us. Non-performance is the expression of tamoguna. So any day working is better than non-working, even though it is in the beginning for the artha kama. Right from the tamas come to rajas. Never be justifying the tamoguna at all. From the rajas, slowly we have to come to sattva guna. Why? How do we do? Same artha and kama which we are earning. When we share it with everybody, starting from our own family members, then we are becoming good. That's called as sattva guna. Right? When we, whatever we have, share with others, it's a sattva guna. Then the sattva should start becoming shuddha. What is that shuddha sattva guna? Where more and more punya karmas, seva karmas, charitable karmas, we are involved in general for all, not only for those we know, and also rising above artha kama. Anyway, we have risen above the tamoguna. That's called shuddha sattva guna. That shuddha sattva should be utilized for the next stage. That next stage is upasana of the Ishvara Paramatma. Recognizing the presence of the Lord, supporting the whole world as a Sarvagna Sarvashaktiman. His upasana is the one which we have to do. And that upasana always is three types for three purposes. One is Swartha, second is Parartha or Sarvartha, third is Nishkama. So I do upasana to Lord for my personal benefits. I do upasana of the Lord for the benefit of everyone, materialistic benefits. Third one is I do upasana of the Lord without any desire. Nishkama bhava. That Nishkama upasana of ours to the Lord will please the Lord and He blesses us. At that Nishkama Upasana level, the blessings of the Lord we receive are that the Lord Himself comes in our life as the Guru. Once the Guru comes in our life, now what upasanas we are doing to the Lord, what dharma, etc., we are doing to the society, all of them now we do to our own Guru. Till the Guru is pleased. When the Guru is pleased, he takes us into confidence and teaches those processes by which we become pure and qualified for the higher evolution. And those things are called Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dhamma, Parama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mokshutva. When we prove ourselves to be serious, sincere, and by doing whatever sadhanas he says, we master this. When the Guru is happy with us, then he teaches us the Tattva Vidya, the Brahma Vidya, the Atma Vidya, the Moksha Vidya, the Upanishad Vidya. Tattvamasi Mahavakya Upadesha. Wherein he says, the world is not real, the substratum is real. On that substratum, the world is projected. You as a Jiva also is not real. Really you are Brahman. On you the Brahman, you the individual is projected. And that reality realization is moksha. Guru says this. He sees to is that we intellectually understand it completely. Once doubtlessly intellectually we have comprehended this. And when the Guru understands it, he says, now beta, what I have to teach you ultimately I have done. Now stay in this very ashram in that kutia or go wherever you want. Work out on that knowledge, Tattvamasi Mahavakya, knowledge that I am the self, wherever you go, by becoming introverted. Go somewhere or stay here, realize the self inside. By going beyond three gunas or three shariras or five koshas. Isn't it? Then once the disciple that way goes deep in his meditation, goes beyond all stula sukshma karana, realizes essential self, now that self is infinite, blissful, therefore he is liberated. Remember, the two things because of which we always suffer. One, there is something other than us. Second, we are limited. Other than us is the world in front of us. We suffer because we like or dislike and we do all funny things. Nothing happens what we expect. Even it happens, it is endful. The other thing is we are limited because we are Sharira, we are Prana, we are Mana. They are all limited, so we identify with them. We suffer. But in that Brahma Jnana, two things are understood. One is there is nothing other than me. Second is I am infinite. So there is nothing other than me, so there is nothing other to trouble me. I am infinite, so there is no problem of being finite. That's why it's called liberation. Such person, in his experience of himself, again functions through the same Shariradi Upadhi in the same world. But to not to gain or lose anything, but only to what you call express himself as a Leela or a sport or play. Then he is no more any bound person, he is Jivan Mukta. And in his stay in this body, he will see to it that others also are given this Tattva Jnana, not other things. When he understood through Tattva Jnana is moksha, he will give only that to others. He won't tell other things which are binding. They may ask, but he will not tell. He says, I have realized self, I am now in Mukta Sthiti. I will teach you that only if you want. I cannot teach you other things. But we want other things. Then you may go to others. हम तो मोक्ष ही सिखाएंगे आपको. That's how Tarayanti. Tirthaha Tirnaha Tarayanti. They have crossed the ocean of ignorance, samsara bondage. They help others also. Such are the great Rishi and Mahatmas. Through the Upanishad, Shastra and Gita, they are guiding all of us towards that Mukti Patha. You understood? No, anything other than that spiritual goal, all other material things, they because endful, they being limit us to our upadhi, they only are the givers of the dukkha bondage. That's why, in our ancient times, the Rishis Munis, like Faraj and I, they also got all the thoughts of, you know, projected to the mind regarding creating, producing lots of bhoga. But they never did it because their philosophy is something different. Not like our philosophy. Our philosophy is what? If I invent this or that, how much sukha happiness I will get, how much bhoga I will get, how much of conveniences I get, how much comforts I get. According to that, we go on working in the Prakriti, scientifically create so many things. This is what our philosophy. Their philosophy is different. Their philosophy is what? Okay, this thought is coming in my mind. If I create it, with that, they never thought how much profit is there. They always thought how much loss is there. You understood? Their always thinking is how much is the loss. So even in some creation or construction, if they found 99 profit and one loss, still they never created that because they don't want to create anything which creates even 1% loss. You ask them why 99th profit and no, it will slowly increase. Like in a town or village or in any forest, 100 trees are there. Now let us cut one tree, 99 remaining. No, we should not. They will not cut even one. You ask them why 99 henna? Because they say it won't stop with one. You say let's cut another 98 to hai. Then you cut the third one 97 to hai. You cut the fifth tree and you say 4 to hai na. Then you say cut the second tree and say एक तो बचा है. And finally you say एक की भी जरूरत नहीं है उसको भी काट दो. This is how the mind works. Therefore, those great rishis who could realize the Paramatma, do you think they could not discover what we have discovered now? More easy for them. But they didn't. Because they know in every invention, discovery for comfort, there are more losses than profits. They can't afford it. प्रकृति का नाश होता है. The Manusha will fall to the lower level. He will forget the divinity, the ultimate purpose of life. Is it not happening now? The more science is growing, the more comfortable amenities, gadgets are growing, and all those comforts are only to the body level. In the bargain, in that rush and gush of indulgences, are you not forgetting culture, forgetting traditions, forgetting the values, forgetting the devotions, forgetting the spiritualities? Isn't it? Now, in the whole world of now today's scenario, in which of the schools and colleges in the world Paramatma Tattva, Moksha Tattva is taught? But first that should be taught. No, वो नहीं पढ़ा रहे. क्या पढ़ा रहे? How to earn money, artha, and how to indulge in the objects kama. The school college is teaching how to earn the money, and the worldly scientists are creating or inventing those things. What to buy with this money for bhoga only, and they are endless. Then our mind also becomes more and more matter oriented. Then slowly we lose all sensitivity for the sake of these materialistic things. We kill each other also. Then in the human body, now we behave like animals and rakshas. The Bhautikavada, materialism, this is how brings destruction without the background of spirituality. That's why in our ancient Sanatana Dharma, पहले spirituality सिखाओ, moksha vidya. Then teach them some vritti vidya with which they earn livelihood. Bas, only living for that what's required that's earned, remaining time only engaged. Now imagine in all schools, colleges, offices, 3-4 घंटे जो भी लौकिक चीज बढ़ाया, बाकी 6 घंटे let us say Vedanta is taught, spirituality taught, bhajans are taught, all the higher things are taught. Imagine what would be the mental pure condition of all the beings. Will there be any quarrels? Will there be any rakshasatva? Will there be any killing each other? Will there be any looting plunder? देख लो. And is it wrong in that way to think? That's what is thought now. Like when you as a coming person coming regular to Gita class, if you tell your friends मैं गीता में जा रहा हूँ, वो लोग हंसेंगे तुमको देखकर. अबे इसी उम्र में गीता सुन रहे हो, क्या हो गया तुमको? To that level we have fallen of devaluing, disrespecting spirituality. This is the outcome of the materialism. Materialism, this how innocently pulls us down. So our rishis know it. Therefore, first they used to think इससे क्या loss होता है. He says 1% loss, then we don't do. And spiritual loss है तो कभी हम वहाँ जाएंगे ही नहीं. That's what they went on maintaining tradition. That's when India, everywhere, every day, adhyatmikata only. It's only after the Britishers' invasion and all, the bhoga asaktis grew. Earlier also they were the amenities, but not for bhoga. They were all offered to the Lord and we take it as prasad. Everything was filled with Paramatma Bhakti only in our Sanat. That's how Lord Rama, 11,000 years he ruled the kingdom. Not for Artha Kama, no, he ruled it for Dharma Moksha. And all people also understood it. They also lived up to it. There was the 11,000 years of golden period, Ramarajya कहते हैं उसको, wherein all are basically spiritual. Then to survive what's required, only that much they involve. They never entered into the terrible, devilish, deluding thing called as moha. That there is something called world, I can enjoy it. That thought they have removed. They never had. Up now, everything is to enjoy only. There is nothing called as quietening the sense organs, nothing called as becoming introverted, nothing called as meditation contemplation, nothing called as the reality behind the world scene. अब इतना सूक्ष्म ज्ञान नहीं पाया तो मनुष्य क्यों बने हो? तेरा बुद्धि अगर पशुओं की तरह पर आउटर ऑब्जेक्ट्स ही है तो अगले जन्म में पशु बनोगे या जब तक जियोगे पशु की तरह जियोगे. We're all living like animals only to be born as animals. Because animals only seek the outer things. If somebody is human being, he'll seek the inner self, the truth, the reality. Because he's given that intelligence. Because he's given a human birth. Because he has got the Guru's tradition, the Shastras to teach him about the sublime. So, what I spoke to you two things today, from tamas to rajas to the sattva to the shuddha sattva. With that, the upasana, the guru's arrival, surrender to guru, learn from the guru the basics to qualify with the qualification, learn from the guru Upanishads, from that know the reality intellectually, then work out on it independently to realize it. Once that is done, now teach that only to the people subsequent. That's how you and I have to grow in spirituality. There are other people who work the other things. उसके लिए one need not become worried. If you say this no to this and say, Swami, I'll materialistic goal only I'll have, then I will enjoy that, go. But don't be adharmic there. And don't become too slave to that. Okay, don't leave this spirituality. No, मैं पूरा spirituality छोड़ता हूँ आपके साथ सब छोड़ दूंगा तो I can't help it. It's not my suggestion at all. At this age of yours, even if you want to succeed outside, welcome, welcome. Like Arjuna was told by Krishna, fight the yuddha and get your kingdom and enjoy. But suggestion is understand that's not be the ultimate goal. Don't miss the touch with spirituality. छोड़ दिया तो then गिरते जाओगे, गिरते जाओगे, गिरते जाओगे. Nobody can stop you from falling into the quicksand of the world and worldliness, wherein you end up in doing all unwanted wrong things, the consequence of which will be inexplicable, painful. Right? Think about it. Thank you. Om Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Samastam Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidyachariyebhyo Rishibhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo Devatabhyo Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha Sankalpaha Tesham Sarvesham Kripanugrahena Upanishadukta Brahmatmaikya Bodhena Asmin Kshine Moksha Shruti Smriti Purane Itihasa Santavagmayokta Sadhya Sadhananubhav Siddhyartam Tatrokta Rishimuni Guru Devata Darshananugranabhav Praptyartam Sanatana Dharmasya Vaidika Hindav Samskrutehe Sampradayanam शास्त्राणां मोक्षमार्गाणां गुरुशिष्य भक्त भगत परंपराधीनां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति द्वारा विश्व अध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोगत्यर्थम अस्मिन् सनातन संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं हसः सर्वेषां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि समस्त मंदिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालय भूभागादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापना उपासना यज्ञयाग साधना सेवा तपस्यादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रूणां शाश्वतरूपेण समूल निर्मूलनार्थं भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक ऐन्दव संस्कृतेः सुसम्प्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थं विश्वे मोक्षधर्मपुरुषार्थप्रतिष्ठा द्वारा विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अनेक अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां युवानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भगवद्देवता गुरुशास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा माता पितृ देश धर्म सनातन धर्म भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये शांति मंत्रोच्चारणं वेद मंत्र पारायणं श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अष्टादशोध्याय से पारायणम् अध्ययनं श्री रामचरितमानस सुंदराकांड अंतर्गत हनुमद लंकायानादीनां द्वारा जीवन विजय रहस्यावगाहन द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थं भारतवर्षार्थं सनातन धर्मार्थं विश्व कल्याणार्थं च एतेषां सत्संगानां श्रद्धा भक्तियुक्त प्रयत्नं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. संकल्प इज डन. नाउ डू द शांति मंत्रास. ओम 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 सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. तस्मै श्री Gurave Namaha. Yeah, up to 30 we can do from 26 onwards. Yeah. Now let us do the Vedic chanting for 10-12 minutes, then Gita study, then Ramayana study. That's it. Om Ataveda Pathanam Veda Parayanam Rugvedaha Chaturthamandalam Atha Shadvimshatitama Anuvakat Arabhya. Vedamata Kripa, Rishi Kripa. May we have all the Vedic Jnana understood and live up to it for our own liberation and guide the world also in that direction, because that is the main purpose of life. Om. ॐ अहं मनुरभवं सूर्यश्चाहं कक्षीवागं ऋषिरश्मि विप्रः अहं कुत्समार्जुनेयं निरुञ्जेऽहं कविरुशना पश्यतामा अहं भूमिमदधामार्यायाहं वृष्टिं दाशुषे मर्त्याय अहमपो अनयं वावशाना मम देवासो अनुकेतमायन् अहं पुरो मन्दसानो वैरिव्यैरं नवसाकन्नवतिः शंवरस्य शततमं वेश्यं सर्वतातादिवो दासमतिथिग्वं यदा वं प्रसुषविभ्यो मरुतो विरस्तु प्रश्येन शेनेभ्य आशुपत्वा अचक्रया अचक्रया यत्स्वदया सुवर्णो हव्यं भरन्मनवे देवजुष्टं भरद्यधिविरतो वे विजानः पतोरुणा मनोजवा असर्जि तूयं ययौ मधुना सौम्येनोतश्रवो विविदिष्येनो अत्र रुजिभिष्येनो ददमानो अंशुम्भरावत शकुनो मन्द्रं मदं सोमं भरद्दाद्रुहाणो देवावान् दिवो अमुष्मादुत्तरा दादाय अदाय शेनो अभरत् सोमं सहस्रं सवा अयुतं च साकम् अत्र पुरन्दिरजहादराधीर्मध्ये सोमस्य मूरा अमूरः 27th गर्भेनु सन्नश्वेषामवेदमहं देवानां जनिमानि विश्व शतं मा पुरायसीररक्षन्नद शेनो जवसा निरदीयं नगासमापप जोषं जभारा भीमास त्वक्षसा वीर्येण ईर्मा पुरन्दिरजहादरातीरुत वातागम् अतरश्चूचुवानः अवयच्छेव्युनो यच्छेनो अश्वनीददद्योर्वि यद्यदिवात ऊहुः पुरन्धिं सृजद्यदस्मावह क्षिपज्यां वृषानुरस्ता मनसा पुरण्यन् रुजिष्य ईमिन्द्रावतो न भुज्युं शेनो जभारबृहतो अधिष्णोः अन्तः पतत्पतत्रस्य पतत्र्यस्य पर्णमदयामनि प्रसिद्धस्य तद्वेः अधश्वेतं कलशङ्गोभिरक्तमापिप्यानं भगवा शुक्रमन्धः अध्वर्युविप्रयतं मध्वो अग्रमिन्द्रो मदाय प्रति दत्पिबध्यै शूरो मदाय प्रति दत्पिबध्यैः 28 त्वायुजातव तत्सोमसख्य इन्द्रो अपो मनमे सश्रुतस्कः अहन्न हिमरिणात् सप्त सिन्धूनपावृणोदपि ते वघाने त्वायुजानिखीदत्सूर्यस्येन्द्रश्चक्रं सहसा सद्य इन्दो अधिष्णुना बृहता वर्तमानं महोद्रुहो अपविश्वायुधायि अहन्निन्द्रो अदहदग्निरिन्दो पुरादस्योन्मध्यन्दिनादवीके दुर्गे दुरोणे क्रत्वा न यातां पुरुसहस्रा शर्वाणि बर्हीति बर्हीत विश्वस्मात् सीमधमा इन्द्र दस्योन्विश्वो दासीरकृणो रप्रशस्ताः अवादेताममृद्नतं निशत्रून् विन्देतामवचितिं वदत्रैः एवा सत्यं भगवानायुवं तदिन्द्रश्च सोमोर्वमश्व्यङ्गोः अधर्धृतमपि हितान्यश्ना रिरिचतुक्षाश्चित्तत्रुधाना 29 आनस् आनः स्तुत उप वाजेभिरूते इन्द्रयाहि हरिभिर्मन्दसानः तिरश्चिद्धर्यः सवना पुरूण्याङ्घोषेभिर्गृणानः सत्यराधाः आहिष्मायाति नर्यश्चिकित्वान् हूयमानः सोऽतृभिर्वयज्ञौ स्वश्वो यो अभीरुर्मन्यमानः सुष्वाणेभिर्मदति संहवीरैः श्रावयेदस्य कर्णा वाजयध्यैजुष्टामनुप्रदिशं मन्दयध्यै उद्वा वृषाणो राधसे तुविष्मान् करन्न इन्द्रस्तु तीर्थाभयं च अच्छायोगन्तानादमानमुहूते इत्था विप्रं हवमानं गृणन्तौ उपत्मनिदधानो धुर्याशून् सहस्राणि शतानि वज्रबाहुः तोता सोमगवन्निन्द्रविप्रा वयन्ते स्याम सूरयो गृणन्तः भेजानासो बृहद्दिवस्य राय आकाय्यस्य धावने पुरुक्षोः. Now the 30th one थोड़ा बड़ा होगा. 7 minutes, 4 minutes will take. 5 minutes. न किरीन्द्रत्वदुत्तरो न ज्यायागम् अस्ति वृत्रहन् न किरेवा यथा त्वं सत्रा ते कृष्णयो विश्वाचक्रेव वावृतुः सत्रा महा असि श्रुतः विश्वे च नेदनात्वा देवास इन्द्रयुयुधुः यदहानक्तमातिरः यत्रोतबाधितेभ्यश्चक्रं कुत्साय युध्यते मुषाय इन्द्रसूर्यं यत्र देवारुहा यतो विश्वा अयुध्य एक इत् तमिन्द्रवसूवनुरहन् यत्रोतमर्त्याय कमरिणा इन्द्रसूर्यं प्रावशचीभिरेतशं किमा दूतासि वृत्रहन्मघवन् मन्युमत्तमः अत्राहदानुमता मातिरः एतद्घेदुतवीर्यमिन्द्र चक्रर्थस्पौंस्यं स्त्रियं यदुर्हणायुवं वद्येर्दुहितरं दिवश्चिद्गातुहितरं महान् महीयमानाम् उषासमिन्द्रसंपिणक अपोषा अनसः सरत्संपिष्टादः बिभ्युषे नियत्सीं शिष्णितत्त्वादृशा एतदस्या अनश्चये सुसंपिष्टं विभाष्य ससारसीं परावतः उत सिन्धुं विभाल्यं वितस्ताना मधिक्षमे परिष्टा इन्द्रमायया उत शुष्णस्य धृष्णुया प्रमृक्षो अवितरं रतः पर्वतादधि अवाहन्निन्द्रशंवरौ उत दासस्य वर्चिनः सहस्राणि शतावधीः अधिपञ्चप्रतिरिव उतत्यं पुत्रमग्रुव परावृक्तं शतक्रतुः उक्तेष्विन्द्र आभजत् उतत्यातुर्यशायदु तुर्वशायदु असनातारा शचीपतिः इन्द्रो विद्वागम् अपारयत् उतत्या सद्य आर्या सरयोरिन्द्रभारतः अर्णाचित्ररतावधीः अनुद्वाजहितानयोन्धं श्रोणं च वृत्रहन् न तत्ते सुम्नमश्नवे शतमश्मन्मयीनां पुरामिन्द्रो व्यास्यत् दिवो दासाय दाशुषे अस्वापयद्दभीतये सहस्रात्रिंशतं हतैः दासानामिन्द्रो माययाः सर्गे दुतासि वृत्रहन् समान इन्द्रगोपदेः यस्ता विश्वानि चिच्युषे उत नूनं यदिन्द्रियं करिष्या इन्द्रपौंस्यम् अद्यानकिष्टदामिनत् वामं वामं त आदुरे देवो ददात्वर्यम वामं भूषा वामं भगो वामं देवः करूडति. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So 30 we have done today. Continue tomorrow. Friends, it's wonderful to be. Let us do the Gita 18th chapter. Let us do our shlokas today. Narayana. So once more, 32 and 33, we will see which we will conclude our Buddhi 3 times. Then Dhruti we have to study. Right? 3 types of Buddhi, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasik. Rajasic, Tamasik, let us browse through once more to avoid them. Let us be very cautious, careful. And mind you, please friends, have Guru, have Shastra, have Satsanga as support. Keep on empowering in your knowledge. With this support, only take correct decisions in our life and do correct actions and grow. For this purpose of giving you the support of Shastra and Guru and Adhyatmikata, that every day we are spending this 1 hour, inviting you all. May it happen to us. That's the only saving thing to us. गुरु का आधार, शास्त्र सत्संग का आधार, आध्यात्मिकता का आधार जो है वो बंदा अपने आधार कार्ड को सेफली रख सकता है, नहीं तो फट जाएगा वो. नारायण. यस फ्रेंड्स. श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम, श्री गीता शरणं मम, श्री व्यास शरणं मम, श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम, श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम, शरणं मम, शरणं मम. ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ 18 मोक्ष संन्यास योगः. एकत्रिंशति-द्वात्रिंशतितमौ मन्त्रौ श्रीभगवानुवाच 2 times and 4 times. Om 31 2 times, 32 4 times. Om yaya dharmam cha karyam cha karyameva cha ayathavat prajanati buddhi sa partha rajase yaya dharmam cha karyam cha karyameva cha ayathavat prajanati बुद्धि सा पार्थ राजसे अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी. So from these three shlokas, as a summary, if we see these 4 pairs that are there, they when thoroughly, authentically, perfectly, unambiguously understood, that buddhi is sattvic. That which is understood vaguely, incompletely, these 4 pairs which are very essential in life, that buddhi which understands vaguely half is rajasic buddhi. And that buddhi which totally opposite understand absolutely opposite, that's called tamasik buddhi. And in our life, in some things we have sattvic buddhi, in some things the rajasic, in many things we have tamasic buddhi. Buddhi means conviction. Buddhi means acceptance. We are convinced and we are accepting. That is done by buddhi only. But it is sattvic or rajasic or tamasic, it's a question we have to think about. We have to answer. So what are the 4 things? Pravrutti, nivrutti, karya, akarya, bhaya, abhaya, bandha, moksha. Okay. All that put together are in another 5th category, dharma and adharma. So pravrutti, nivrutti, karya, akarya, bhaya, abhaya, bandha, moksha. This is called dharma, adharma. And you add all other things. Punya and papa, bandhana and moksha, durguna and sadguna, and a dussanga or satsanga. These 2 things always are there in life. Among them, the positive, correct one who thoroughly understands, that buddhi is sattvic. Who is confused, rajasic. Who thoroughly understands or misunderstands or wrongly understands one for the other, that buddhi is called as tamasik. So pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandha moksham cha ya buddhi veti sa buddhi sattvic. That buddhi knows this, it is sattvic buddhi. And what is rajasic buddhi? Yeah, that buddhi by which dharmam adharmam cha and karya akaryam cha ayathavat prajanat. Ayathavat means exactly, convincingly doesn't know, not have understood. Therefore, he always takes chances of doing little bit this one, doing little bit that one. This second type of rajasic fellows, you will find them in some spiritual activities also, and you find them in all the hotel and casino also. उसको यहाँ है तो ये अच्छा लगता है, वहाँ है तो वो अच्छा लगता है. इसका mind confused है. But the first fellow, you will never find him in any of these non-positive places. You will see him only in satsanga, in the temple, in the pujas. वहीं वो दिखेगा आपको. Example. That satvika buddhi wala. Is achara, is vyavahar always. You will find him studying shastras only, not watching TV or reading paper. You will see him being in the company of the saint sages only, not in the friends, relatives, or the other people who take him into wrong direction. And when you talk to him, he raises the topic of spirituality only. He will not talk about politics nor about the bhoga. The ones who talk about bhoga, they are tamasik. Those who talk about politics is rajasic. Those who talk about tattva or paramatma, they are sattvic. बुद्धि, वो बुद्धि जिसमें जिसका निर्णय है उसके अनुसार वो बुद्धि सात्विक, राजसिक, तामसिक डिसाइड किया जाता है, बोला जाता है. So Sattvic Buddhi's glory is that, Rajasik is Ayathavat Prajanati, means Yathavat na janati. Convincingly he doesn't know. He knows half. That Buddhi is in that way, in the half stage, not a Paripakva Shuddha, pure to be able to understand categorically what's right or wrong. And in fact, you see the other way around, the first person being heart is pure, freed from all negativity, he is able to have that Buddhi which could clearly understand what's right or wrong. In the second person, there are some good vasanas qualities, bad also are there. Therefore, he is not able to decisively decide among these two which is better. Therefore, ayatavat prajanati. Ya dharmam adharmam cha karyam cha akaryam cha ayatavat prajanati. So, dharmam adharmam karya given means the other three you have to add. What are they? That is called bhaya, pravritti, nivritti, bandha, moksha. He knows vaguely half. Whenever his mind tends to understand the positive, he is found to be in that mood for a couple of days. Suddenly again his mind tends to accept the other one, so he goes into the other one. So the one who is in this way, like a pendulum, goes from this to that to this, is called as Rajasik fella, Ayothavat Prajana. Right? And the third one is our dearest friend. He is Pakka. He is 100% sure. His Buddhi is fully convinced. What? Exactly opposite. And there are some nonsense fellows because मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, I'm telling you now, he will tell with such a strong conviction in himself about the nonsense, about the opposite things. Very, he will bring his own experiences or examples. Even he will quote the scriptures. It's called devil quoting scriptures. है ना? He will quote, he say no, युधिष्ठिर ने भी अश्वत्थामा था कुछ जरा झूठ बोला कि नहीं? जब युधिष्ठिर नहीं बोला तो हम क्यों नहीं बोले? He will take like that. अरे बेवकूफ, युधिष्ठिर जी never said our झूठ. Bhagwan Krishna made him say even for that small झूठ also Yudhishthir had to go to Naraka. But that whole story doesn't want to listen. Devil quoting the scriptures to justify his devilish activities. Very powerful are these people. आजकल दुनिया में सारे यही लोग हैं. All their arrogance, their ego, their intellection, their intelligence, their materialistic knowledge, their sharpness, their buddhi's ability, capacity, all of that so powerfully they use only to justify the wrong thing, like you, the youngsters. How you justify your indulgence, how you justify not going to school, college, do not going to your job, etc. How do you justify getting lost in stupid boy or girl like you? How intelligent you are in trying to tell your parents and convince them and become emotional. Dushta Rakshas. Tamoguni. Very powerful it is. Huh? This tamoguni buddhi कैसा होता है कि अधर्मम धर्ममिति या मन्यते. That buddhi which takes adharma as dharma. And the reason is given. Tamasa avrita. That is so much into the vasanas, so much into bhoga saktis and habits of that his intellect now is stopped thinking. तामस हो गया उसमें. इसलिए वो इंटेलेक्ट को अधर्म ही धर्म लगता है. So out of 5, 1 said means other of 4 you have to add. He takes adharma as a dharma. Therefore, he takes the bhaya as the abhaya. Then he takes the bandha as the moksha. Then he takes the karyam as the akaryam. Then he takes the pravritti as nivritti. And so too, he takes the papa as the punya. He takes the all negative values as positive. And he justifies. ये तो कलयुग है, आजकल ऐसे ही होना पड़ता है. He will talk in that language. Now tell me, आजकल Brahmin is also eating non-veg. Then how can we be being Shudra, Kshatriya, Vaishya? हम तो खाना ही. In that way they talk. They justify it. सब ब्राह्मण जब खा रहे तो तू गधा तू बंद करोगे तो यू विल बी बॉर्न एज ब्राह्मण नेक्स्ट लाइफ नो बट दैट विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूँ जो कुछ खाए ना के मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ता है जो एग्जाम्पल उस समय आते हैं सीइंग द सोसाइटी वी टॉक डोंट वरी अबाउट एग्जाम्पल यू डोंट लाइक एग्जाम्पल आई टेक इट बैक अंडरस्टैंड द पॉइंट I tell even sorry also, excuse. If you don't like example. Purpose is not example, thought. So adharmam dharmam iti manyate. पापम पुण्यमिति मान्यते. दुष्कर्म सत्कर्म, दुष्ट फ्रेंड्स अच्छा फ्रेंड्स मानते हैं. And they justify with all their intelligence. है ना? Being tamoguni and still being intelligent are such terrible things that he will justify his tamoguna only with all his intelligence. Either a person should be intelligent and sattva or tamoguna with bevakufi. So that he will not justify it. Somebody tells him, you are doing wrong, this is right, please do. He will do it. तमोगुण भी है और दिमाग भी है, उसी को जस्टिफाई करेगा. सो अधर्मम धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता. देन सर्वार्थान विपरीतान. अनदर थिंग, सर्वार्थान विपरीतान. सर्व अर्थ को विपरीत जानता है. मतलब जिसमें अर्थ है उसको अनर्थ देखेगा, जिसमें अनर्थ है अर्थ देखेगा. टेल हिम टू ईट अ सात्विक फूड, ही सेज नो, क्या है उसमें मजा नहीं है, टेस्ट नहीं है. बट देन दैट फूड तामसिक राजसिक, इट विल डिस्टर्ब यू, बट फिर भी मजा आता है उसमें. दैट्स कॉल्ड सर्वार्थ विपरीत. Why don't you have those good friends who are having all values, Deshabhakti? What? That is all nonsense. Boring. But these friends are taking you for all negative things, but फिर भी उसमें मजा आता है. सर्वार्थान विपरीतान. Everywhere is there to viparita only. Whether it is health, protection of the health, whether it is maintaining the financial status, whether it is establishing good relation with the things, beings, everything viparita. There are some people I have seen in my life. Everything viparita. Sarvarthan viparita. They won't respect their parents, but for somebody else they become slaves. Anything you see, they take quickly, they learn negative from others or positive. जितना दसों बार भी बोलो, they don't understand. That's called Tamasik बुद्धि वाले. और उसको उल्टा ही समझता है. A typical example is that I told you, 2 years back, if you remember, that in that class, that guru teacher has told very emotionally, completely, right from beginning till end, the story of Satya Harishchandra. है ना, हरिश्चंद्र भगवान का साथ राजा हरिश्चंद्र का. Then after all stories over, teacher asked, therefore beta, what is the lesson you have learned from this story? Children, fourth class, very excited होते हैं, enthusiastic, not like the lazy youth. I'll answer. Then one fellow was lifting the hand, but his face was little different. मैं भी जवाब देता हूँ. गुरु को सोचा चल इसको पूछते कुछ यूनिक जवाब देगा. Then Guru asked, "Cha, tu beta, whatever your name, mister? What is your name? Tell me what have you learned from this story?" He told the Guru, Maharaj, teacher Sahib, I have learned this from this story. If you speak truth, you will suffer so much. सत्य बोलने से तो इतना परेशान हो जाओगे. No, that fellow Mr. तामसी होगा वो. तामसिक बुद्धि, सर्वार्थान विपरीतान. बुद्धि सापार्थ तामसी. There are many people who just understand opposite and take it. है ना? विपरीत मीन्स वॉट एवर देर कामनाएं भोग है उसको जस्टिफाई करते हुए वो लोग समझ लेते हैं. सर्वार्थान विपरीत. That is tamasic buddhi. For them, any of sattvic things of spirituality or nobility, उनको अच्छे नहीं लगते. I बकवास है. The weak people do all that. See, I am working hard, I am earning money. See, स्वामी जी, you are sitting in one house going nowhere. I देखो पिछले 6 महीने पूरा दुनिया घूम के आया. इतना मैं एंजॉय कर रहा हूँ. इसी में मज्जा है बोलता है वो. Sit quietly, just remember the Lord is feet, have that devotion, do upasana, enjoy that peace and bliss. No, we don't want it. Yeah, sarvartha viparita means upar ke all the four. Where he has to be pravritta, he will become nivritta. Where he has to become nivritta, he will become pravritta. Those things which give the bhaya, he will do them. Which gives them nirbhayata, he doesn't do it. So to that which is karya must be done, he will not do. That which is to be akarya should not be done, he will do. Then therefore instead of getting moksha, he'll get only the bandha. This is tamasic fellow. And as I told you, to the tamas, when the intelligence is added, then he will justify that only. Tamasi buddhi. So in this way, sattvic buddhi, rajasic buddhi, tamasic buddhi, the five pairs of pravritti, nivritti, karya, karya, bhaya, bhaya, bandha, moksha. Therefore, fifth one, dharma, dharma. Perfectly correctly known, sattvic. Vaguely known, rajasic. Opposite known, tamasic. Known means understood, convinced, and living like that only. Sarvarthan viparitan. As I told you the other day, tell him to have nice milk and buttermilk. He says, what is that useless? And about the drinks, you will praise it so much. When it taken, no, you are in different world, you feel like you are in Svarga only. Viparitan sarvarthan. Any such thing. Sarva artha viparita means anything which is positive, optimistic, evolving, that he takes as negative. Anything which is destructive, that he takes as positive. That is called as सारे अर्थों को विपरीत देखना, अच्छे को बुरा के रूप में, बुरे को अच्छे के रूप में डिसाइड करना. That buddhi lost, in tamoguna and doesn't have that sensitivity to rethink and change its wrong understandings to right. It is not available. Right? This is what it is. Tomorrow we'll see dhruti, satvika dhruti, rajasik and tamasik. Then three sukhas. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namah. Sri Janaki Vallabho Vijayate. Sri Ramacharita Manasa. Panchama Sopana Sundarakand. We have come up to in our Sundarakand yesterday that Lanka में अभी camera focused है, recent elections and all. So there, in every house, these two were the discussions. Okay, who will do the Rakshasa Vamsha now? Point one. Point two, the one whose Duta, one small messenger or ambassador, came and destroyed the whole Lanka. If he himself comes with all the other Duta, who will protect us? So they were all in that fear, dukkha, glani, and none of them can talk loudly against Ravana. Because it's all happening because Ravana has that wrong action of abducting Sitaji, isn't it? Earlier, Ravana was troubling so many people, getting all the wealth, and giving it to the Lanka Vasins. So there were no risks to Ravana and to them. So they were supporting and enjoying. They never, but now it has become calamity, it has become danger now. Ravana उसका हमको भी मरने का नौबत आया, but they can't talk now. But they were talking to each other. That somehow from the Dutas, Mandodari came to know Ravana's wife. Then she took a chance. He has not heard anyone, he will not listen to me also, but let me try. So the Mandodari is Hita Vachana to Ravana. In Valmiki Ramayana, it's a very big portion. But do you think Ravana will listen? If he listens, he will not become Ravan. Yeah, Ravan, Duryodhan, Dushasan, Hiranyakashipu. These examples are of those utter tamasic people who adharma take a dharma till they die. They die, but they don't give up their negativities. Only to show that if you don't give up your negativity, you will die. That these stories are given. You be born like Sugriva, Hanuman, or Lakshmana right from beginning as Sattvic. Or you shift yourself from the Rakshasa Ravana to Rama like Vibhishana. Don't continue to be Ravana, you'll only die. So what is Mandodari's words to Ravana? That we'll see today. Chant this from second one. जासु दूत बल बर निन जाई, तेहि आए पुर कवन भलाई। दूति न सन सुनि पुर जन बानी, मंदोदरी अधिक अकुलानी। रहसि जोरी कर पति पग लागी, बोली बचन नीति रस पागी। कंत करश हरिसन परिहरहु, मोर कहा अति हित हिय धरहु। समुझत जासु दूत कई करनी, स्रवहि गर्भ रजनी चर घरनी। तासु नारी निज सचिव बुलाए, पटवहु कंत जो चाहु भलाई भलाई। तव कुल कमल विपिन दुखदाई, सीता सीत निशा सम आई। सुनहु नाथ सीता बिनु दीन है, हितन तुम्हार शंभु अज कीन है। राम बान अहिगन सरिस, निकर निसाचर भेक। जब लगी ग्रसतन तब लगी, जतन करहु तज ठेक। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। सद्गुनाथ महाराज की जय. So, Dutinasana Suni Purajana Bani, having heard from the Dutas the Vani of the Purajana, the two things. Who will protect us? No Rakshasakula, and if Rama himself comes, what will happen to us? Having heard all this from Duta, Mandodari Adhika Akulani. She was more troubled, disturbed, distressed, frightened than anyone. Because she sensed power of Rama and all. If they come, they will finish Ravana. She never had that fear because Ravana's power. He could defeat anyone. Now with Rama, there is doubt. So she has fears. And the other meaning is Adhika Kulani, more Ravan than Ravana. She became sensitive to feel about the welfare of the people, of their Rajya. The Lanka ki Praja, jo bhi hai, Rakshas. So she felt more responsible and sensitive. Adhika Akulani. Then what did she do with that? Ki rahasik jori kara padi pagal aage. Rahasi means in the secrecy, in an alone mode. Jori kara with the hands folded. Pati pagal aagi. She just did pranam at the feet of Pati Ravana. उनके चरण पकड़कर प्रणाम करके प्रणाम किया या उनको कुर्सी बैठाकर नीचे बैठकर पांव दबाते हुए ऑल दैट सीन यू इमेजिन इन दैट मोड बोली Bachana Bholi, she spoke the words. And what those words were containing? Niti Rasa Pagi. They're all full of the rasa, the essence of Niti, the Dharma. So she was speaking the Sattvika Shabdas. है ना फर्स्ट वन हु है सात्विक प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्य कार्य भयाभये बंधन मोक्षं च वेत्ति बुद्धि सा पार्थ सात्विकी that is Mandodari. Now Ravana is Tamasik. So with folded hands saluting her husband, Mandodari spoke these words of Niti. Niti means Niti, Dharma, all of that positive. What did she say? Ki Kanta. Kanta means Kanta. Kanta means husband. Oh, my dear husband. Karasha Hari. Karasha Harisana Pariharahu. Karasha means Krodha. Karasha means hatred, vengeance, enmity, fighting. Harisana with the Lord Rama. Pariharahu, give up. So give up your enmity, anger with Rama. So she knows Rama is Hari then Narayan. Even Ravana knows. Hey Kanta, Harisana Karasha Pariharahu. So please give up. The Karasha means the opposition, the Virodha, the enmity with him. Please give up. More Kaha. What I am going to say. What is that? Atihita. In the good of you and every one of us. Hiya Darahu. Please hold it in your heart. जो मैं कह रहा हूँ आपको हृदय में लाइए जिसमें आपका हित है आप वो करिए विरोध मत करिए श्री राम जी से सो कंत करश हरिसन परिहरहु फिर मोर कहा अतिहित हिय धरहु व्हाट आई एम सेइंग गुड प्लीज कीप इट इन योर हार्ट व्हाट इज दैट she says for example first she sees the situation she tells ki samujhata jasu duta kai karani samujhata means smaran karne se even by remembering the doings by Hanumanji who is Ramaduta so the Ramaduta Hanumanji's doings when he came here. Samujata, when they are remembered only, Samujata Jasu Duta Kai Karani, Sravahi Garva Rajani Chara Garani. When Hanumanji did Garjana while going, at that time anyway, many of the Rakshasas three got their Garbhasrava aversion. Not only that, even now, just by remembering the ferocious acts of Hanuman, of starting from destroying the Ashoka Vatika, killing thousands and thousands of Rakshasas, fearlessly talking to you, burning the entire Lanka. Even when that is remembered, the Rakshasa strees are, even now those who are pregnant, they are becoming, उनका क्या है ना वो गर्भस्राव हो रहा है because they do not have children who will be killed by Rama and Vanaras when they come. So out of fear, है ना गर्भस्राव हो रहा है ना देखो the life when it is there full of joy enthusiasm to live and to extend that life that time to get the children that type of desire comes. अब खुद को ही डरने का मरने का डर है तो how will he think about giving birth to next generation? So they have fear of their own life. Therefore, how can they give life to the next generation with that inner fear? Just remembering what Hanumanji did and went. All the Rakshasa strees in their Ghara, they are having Garbhasrava. Whoever are the Garbhavati. So, कहते हैं रजनीचर घरणी गर्भस्रव ही जासुदूत कई करणी समुझत है ना जिसके दूत का किया हुआ बात को याद रखकर ही लोग गर्भस्राव ऐसे मतलब लाइक दैट द लिविंग आर डाइंग दैट्स द मीनिंग ऑफ पीपल आर लूजिंग देयर इंस्पिरेशन लूजिंग देयर डिजायर टू लिव ऑल दैट यू हैव टू ऐड इन दैट गर्भस्रावनी एक एग्जांपल देते हैं तो बाकी सारा ऐड करना होता है what is not said to understand it is more intelligence along with understanding what is directly said right see she says tasu nari of that Rama's Nari, the wife, Sita ji, Sachiva Bulai, calling your own mantris, Patavahu, Kanta. Oh, my dear husband, send her with the mantris back to Rama. Chahau Balai, jo Chahau Balai. If you want Balai, if you want your welfare and welfare of all the Rakshasas, better you call your mantris, send Sita Mata along with them to Rama back. The meaning of the Garbhasrava means what? No new Rakshasas will be born to help you or support you. Existing one anyway, आधा तो हनुमान जी मार के गए बाकी जो है राम जी आकर फिनिश करें so therefore if you want bhalai if you want safety security welfare I am suggesting you send Sita along with the mantris back to Rama तासु नारी निज सचिव बुलाई पठाओ हे कंत जो चाहो भलाई if you want bhalai send her back now she is creating that you know the hatred in Ravana's mind about Sita which is a fact she says tava kula kamala vipina you know your kula is like a beautiful vipina having lot of kamala lotuses like you all are so to this vipina of your kula where every one of you are like the kamala Sita what is Sita ji Sita nisha sama ai she is like the dark night of the winters where it never ends and never allows the flowers to blossom. जब ज्यादा सर्दियां होते हैं ना वो कमल खिलता नहीं कमल तो खिलता भगवान सूर्य का आने से और डीप समर में विंटर में पीक विंटर the sun never comes the lotuses never blossom and they with that winter's cold they get burnt or die also so to your कमला रूपी लोगों से भरा हुआ राक्षस कुल के लिए सीता इज लाइक द डार्क नाइट ऑफ विंटर्स सो सीता 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 मीन शीतकाल निशा मीन रात के समय आई है सुनो नाथ ओ हस्बैंड सुनो सीता बिनु दीन है विदाउट गिविंग बैक सीता जी हित न तुम्हारा शंभु अजय किन है even Shambhu, Lord Shiva, Ajay Brahmadev also cannot do your hita without sending back Sita ji. सीता को दे में ना न ब्रह्मा न शिव भी आपका रक्षा नहीं कर सकते आपका हित नहीं कर सकते and then she says Rama Bana Ahi Ganasarisha the arrows of Lord Rama are like the serpents then Nikara Nisachara all your Rakshasa Samuha is Bheka they are like mendak only they are only frogs so Rama Bana is like snakes Your Rakshasas are like the bake, only they are the frogs. How the snake just jumps and eats the frog. So to the arrows of Rama, like snakes, will eat away the Rakshasas who are like the frogs. So Rama Bana Ahigana Sarisa, Nikara Nisachara Beka. Therefore, Jabalagi Grasatana. Before the Ramabana snakes come, before they consume the Rakshasas, the Beka, Jabalagi Grasatana, Tabalagi, Jatana Karahu, Tajiteka, giving up your all arrogance, etc., to that effort which I told you. So give up that your insistence and stubbornness. Take a chodkar, do what is best, which I told you. Send Sita back to Sri Rama. Otherwise, the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva also cannot save you, and your Rakshas, like the frogs, will be eaten by the arrows of Rama, like the snakes. When this way, only 4 or 5 chaupai here, but in Valmiki Ramayana, in 40-50 shlokas, so many beautiful things Mandodari says. Mandodari. But Ravana is so arrogant, so in Tamo Guna, Adharmam Dharmamit Manyate, he only never listens to her. He just talks something very strong to her and goes to Sabha and asks the others. Every other Dushta Rakshasas who are friends to him, they also say, don't worry, let us not worry about it. In this way, himself wrongly deciding, wife's words is not listening, and he has a people who क्या कहते हैं ना तक क्या हाँ में हाँ मिलाने वाले bad friends. When you have mantris, you are going to get definitely destroyed. Either wife or the mantris should be strong enough to tell you what you are doing is wrong. And वहाँ तक क्यों जाना चाहिए? Are you not intelligent to know what to do, what not to do? So in this way, this Ramayana, tomorrow we'll see what Ravana's reply. Then in that mantra, Sachiva Baida Gura Tini Jao Priya Bole Bayasa, ये बहुत important है, हम कल सीखेंगे. After this, Sugriva, that what a beautiful Vibhishana comes and he gives lot of good upadesha to Ravana. Ravana kicks Vibhishana. Then Vibhishana goes to Sri Rama Sharanagati. This is how this Sundarakanda has got so many such topic stories. They're all preliminary, primary, external, but through them, what we learn for our life, that is important. Tomorrow will continue, beta. Thank you. Om Durjana Sajjano Bhyat, Sajjana Shanti Mahamniyat, Shanto Muchita Bandivya, Muktasthanyanu Mochedasto Masadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityor Mamritangamaya, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachide, Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Hari Om Sri Guru Paramarshibhya Parabrahmane, Shruti Matre Nama Tatsat Brahmarmanastu Bol Sri, Krishna Chandra Bhagavan Ji, Geeta Mata Ji, Vedavyas Bhagavan Ji, Ramachandra Bhagavan Ji, Ramayana Mahashastra Ji, Valmiki Bhagavan Ji, Tulsidas Bhagavan Ji, समस्त ऋषिमुनि के देवतागण की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, आज के आनंद की जय, नमः पार्वती पदार महादेव हर सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तन गोविंदा गोविंदा, जानकी जीवन स्मरण जय, राम राम में श्री आदिपरा शक्ति माता की जय, समस्त श्रोता भक्त साधक सेवा उपासक जिज्ञासु धर्म संस्थापक मोक्ष पुत्रगण की जय, भारत माता की जय, सनातन धर्म की जय, वैदिक हिंदू संस्कृति की आध्यात्मिक जीवन विधान की जय, समस्त युवा मंडल की जय. Thank you, dears. See you tomorrow. God bless.